There we go. All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the greatest show in the universe. Today we have another weekly edition of Weekly Developer Podcast, and today we actually have a special guest with us. I want everybody to welcome and say hello to William.
Hi,
Hello, William.
happy to be on the show.
All right. So William's actually our Twitch handler. So anything you guys post on Twitch or respond to, you'll actually be talking to William here.
Okay.
All right, so we're trying to get more guests on. Today we have William, so he's part of the team. We want to get players on in the future, so if you guys want to make sure that you guys want to appear on the podcast, I actually have a forum thread in the discussions forum, and you guys can like post an application there, and we'll kind of discuss some things behind the scenes, and we'll try to schedule to start getting players on. So that's what we want to do in the future, start getting more players on. And hopefully, we can have like a round table like discussion, so it's not just like one or two people talking. We could have like four or five. So I think that would be a little bit more interesting. So got a list of topics here. So we'll go ahead and get started. The first thing I wanted to talk about was actual player customization and profile customization. So I'll go ahead and move this screen over to the side, so we're not overlapping here. Go like that. So we'll go ahead and exit free roam, and we'll go to profiles. So this is what the profile currently looks like, and we actually have a little bit of a glitch. So you can see here on the side, Dwar is kind of like sticking out of the picture. So what we need to actually do is take this row here of all the characters and kind of raise it so we can have a second row so that Dwar can go underneath here, and we'll have more room for additional characters as they're released. So currently we have, I think, 8. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we would have room for 16 characters in total. So what I went ahead and did, as you guys can see here, is kind of make a new sort of, I don't know, like layout for the profile. So as you can see here, I just copied and pasted this first row to the bottom here. So this is kind of where the positions would be for the new characters. So just imagine these are all new characters here on the bottom. And then I did the same with the arenas here, so the arena types. So we're going to be releasing Battle Royale hopefully by the end of the month or early next month. So that's going to be here where Random Arena is. And then we have positions open for these three here. So we want to kind of enter like a King of the Hill type of mode in the future, as well as like a team death battle as well. So those can take up some of these slots, and then we would still have like one more that we can take up here. So this is what it currently looks like, and then this is what it looks like after it's been modified. So here with the player info, this will actually allow you to write like a short description of yourself. So right here, right now, there's like nothing, like you have this player info here, but there's no box. There's nothing that you can actually edit. And then what I did was kind of move some of these things here. So this goes up now into the top corner, like this. And I actually even made an area for where your shield emblem is going to be, your guild. So right now, let me jump into the game. Oh, I actually I left that guild, so I'm going to have to join a guild real quick. So I'll have to join these guys. So my guild. So as you can see here, guild emblem. What I did was actually put that in the profile now. And
cool.
The idea is to have more customization options for the guild emblem, which I'm actually going to get to in a few minutes. But we'll go back to the picture now. So this here, the platinum, so where your league is actually going to appear under your picture. And then this is for your achievement points, that too appears under your picture. So right here, there's a space. This is kind of going to be moved down, and then this is going to be where you're going to be able to upload your picture. So another thing is, once you're able to upload your picture, now when you go into the chat, as you can see here, this is what the chat looks like currently. So after it's been modified, the timestamp will be moved to the corner over here. And in this place, now that this will be opened up, is where your avatar is actually going to be. So this is where your profile picture will be. So your name, and if you joined a guild, obviously it's still going to appear next to your name. And then the text underneath, and the timestamp will be way over here now. Or maybe I can move it up and it'll be in this top corner here so that it doesn't interfere with the text. So this will probably actually be moved up into this corner. So that's the purpose of being able to upload your profile image. It's going to also be able to appear in your chat. And another thing, so we were actually discussing this behind the scenes. One of the complaints or criticisms some of the other developers have raised is this issue of maybe some people might upload inappropriate images. So not only are you going to be able to upload your own image, you're actually going to be able to unlock stock images. I'll jump back into the game now. So when you actually first start the game, you only have 3 characters available to you, which is Yoji, Akia, and Morth. And you only have their basic skins. Actually, let me minimize this so you can actually see more of this handsome man over here. So Akia, Yoji, and Morth, and you only have their basic skins. So what will happen is when you first start the game, you'll have a character portrait, which will just be like their face or something. So when you go into spells, you have sort of like a character portrait here with these characters. So this will be like their basic portrait that you'll have when you first join the game. So they'll already be unlocked because you already have that skin, the default skin. So when you unlock additional characters, so for instance like Neri and Isna here, since you default to their regular skin, when you unlock them, you unlock that portrait. So at the very beginning, you can use Yoji, Akia, and Morth as her profile picture. And did I hear something in the background?
Oh, my bad.
It's all right. So what's going to happen is when you unlock different skins, so let's say I buy this Halloween skin for Isna. So it's a witch. She would have a witch portrait. It's all right.
My dog.
Yeah, it's all good. So you'll have a portrait of Isna as a witch. So and then you unlock this one over here. So this is like a mechanized Isna. You'll have a mechanized Isna character portrait, which you'll be able to use as your profile avatar. So as you unlock characters and buy skins, you'll actually have additional profile customization options because you'll be able to use their portrait as your avatar pick. So it'll also increase the incentive for like collectors. Like if you want to unlock all the different portraits, you're going to have to unlock all the characters and buy all the different skins. So it's going to be kind of like a collector's item as well. So that's one of the ways to incentivize people for buying characters and whatnot. So we'll go ahead and close out skin. What else did we want to do? Go back to profile. So let's see. Yeah, so next is the guild emblem. So I discussed in a previous podcast how what I actually want to implement in the game is increased levels of customization for the guild emblem. So in order to demonstrate how this would actually work, I'm actually going to open up a different game. So we're going to go here. Let me minimize it a little bit. So this is Game of Thrones Ascent. This is based off the popular HBO TV series Game of Thrones. Let me go ahead and let it load. But this allows you to choose like your own kind of banners for your own house. So there's a little bit of role playing involved. Yeah, it doesn't matter what my name is. Yeah, whatever. I just wanted to get to the customization. Blah 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 blah. Probably should have done this off screen. Yeah. Whatever. Ah, I thought you were able to customize stuff at the very beginning. Just get me to the customization screen. Yeah. I don't care. Oh boy. Alright, let me. How do I could have sworn. Character. Edit. Here we go. Oh, come on. I actually have to do some kind of tutorial. Yeah. Come on. By building. Speed up. The problem with like these browser-based free-to-play games, make you go through all these unnecessary hoops. Oops, What am I doing here? Okay, here. Can I edit it now? Oop, come on. What? So much dead air right now. Okay, let me minimize this. Oh man, why?
Didn't expect this, huh?
Yeah, I should have tried this out. I could have sworn, because, I mean, it's been like a whole year before the last time I played this. I thought you were able to customize this stuff at the beginning of the game. Like, before you even have to do anything. Why don't I'm not even able to... Get a character. Ah, come on. Alright, maybe this is gonna have to just wait until a different time. This is annoying. Yeah, come on. Do it now? I don't even have the option anymore. Alright, whatever. I'm just gonna have to come back to this at a different time. What the idea was going to be is you would have different emblems. So let me jump back into the game. So when you go to achievements, so you would have like different emblems that you would be able to center on your shield. So we'll go back to my guild, and it would be appearing in the middle of the shield, and then you would be able to actually choose like the different backgrounds. So this is like a swirl. You would have like horizontal lines, diagonal lines, vertical lines. You would be able to change to different colors. There would be all kinds of different things that you could do. Unfortunately, I didn't have the foresight to actually do this before the stream. I could have sworn... yeah, I'm going to have to just wait until next stream. This is so annoying. I'm really annoyed right now. I could have sworn that you were able to do this. I don't know, maybe they changed things. But oh well, I guess we'll have to skip that part. But that was essentially the idea. The idea was going to be that you would have these different customization options. So we'll just revisit this next week, actually. So we'll just skip over that for now.
I
But the
like the
next,
idea though.
yeah. But once I have like an actual thing to show you, like it'll make so much more sense. You're like, oh man, I can't wait for that. I was hoping to do that this week, but oh well. Let's see. We also wanted to talk about the player community hub. So to illustrate that, I've actually opened up Spore here. So this is how this whole idea is going to work. Over here in Unnyworld, you have these spaces available here. So either up here or down here, we're going to add another thing like this here in the bottom. So you see like there's 5 different kind of hexagons all in the center. So we're going to either put one here or here, and this is going to be like the community hub. So each of these hexagons, once you click it and expand it, you'll see that each of these has its own kind of theme. So like we have leaderboards, achievements, resources, profile, and army. So over here, we're going to have like, there's going to be like news, what else? Promo codes. There's going to be like forum links where people can submit bug reports and be able to give player feedback. So there's going to be all different kinds of things here, and there's also going to be an option to take pictures of your planet, and hopefully in the future, not only you're going to be able to take in-game screenshots and upload it to the community hub, you'll also be able to do in-game recordings too, and hopefully submit that to the community hub. So how it would work is how we have it like here in Spore. When you go to share, so this is the stuff that's actually made by the company that runs this game. So this is Maxis. So these are all the different creations they make. And then we can go to, like, if you submit something, this would be like my creations, and you would be able to see all the things that you submit. So the way this would work is, and up here you have the different categories. So, oh, I don't have one for planets. Oh well, I guess I should have downloaded, oh, what the called. I can't remember. but you would also have one for planets. So for this is the different creations that you can make in the game. So how this would work is you would be able to upload pictures of your planet or even video submissions, and it would go to a community hub. Once in the community hub, you have like different categories like this. So you might have like one for planets, for like defenses. You might have one for like creative builds and stuff like that. So you might want to take a picture of like this, your tower defense setup, and then you might do something like if you were to buy like these Halloween decorations, and you wanted to make a more like creative and interesting planet, and maybe you go and buy some planet skins like this, and you wanted to organize and decorate your planet for like a holiday theme or something. So that would be under creative. So you would have all these different options in the community hub, and players would be able to like select on it. So in this game, you can like edit other people's submissions, but you would be able to select on it, and you would be able to vote on it. So why can't I actually? I know there's a voting feature in this game. I guess I have to download other players' stuff first. But what you would be able to do is select on a person's submission, so whether it be a screenshot or video, and you would be able to like it. So it would have likes and views. And then what you could potentially do is have like a leaderboard. So the screenshots with the most views and the most likes would appear at the top. And what you would be able to do is have like a right click option. And once you right click it, it would have the option to like visit planet. So once you visit planet, you would spawn in their landing zone, and you would be able to roam around on their planet without having to like to fight the defenses or whatever. And you just free roam around the player's planet, and you wouldn't even have to have them on your friends list to do this, because it would be through the community hub interface. You just go to the community hub, you can search through the different categories, and once you find a planet that you like and looks entertaining to you, you can go ahead and visit. Now, the other thing I want to do is once we start introducing social elements to the game, so you'll be able to do things like play hide and seek and tag and stuff, is players who host more events are probably going to get more likes, so they're going to gravitate toward the top of the list. So because they host more events or more active, they're going to get the most views and the most likes. So a player might be like, oh, I'm kind of bored, I have nothing to do. You might have like a population limit on a planet, and as you're like checking out the different planets that are in the community hub, you might see like, oh, this planet is currently hosting an event and it has 5 people currently roaming around on this planet. You're like, oh, I want to meet new friends. So you might be able to select on the planet and visit planet, and then you can run into these 5 other people. So that was an idea. And then another thing I want to do is once you unlock different planet skins, each one of these will have their own kind of unique mini game. So for like Christmas and Snow Planet, what you could do is have like snowball fighting. And then for like Halloween, maybe you can have some kind of like trick or treat mini game event. So there would be all these different events that you could do on these different planet skins. And maybe you can even have like in-game rewards. So when you start like a custom match, you can choose the different resources that you can earn from winning. So maybe what you could do is have it so like if people win a round of hide and seek or something, they can win a certain level of Acquium. So that's another thing you can do for the social aspects of the game. So
that'll be really cool.
Yeah, so that's the whole idea. So and with Planet Edit, you can actually, I'm not sure if it's still available, but this was actually available in the test build. When you right click, like right now, there's nothing right here in this space. So you can build a mountain, but what you're also able to do was right click. Yeah, it's no longer available, but you were able to dig ditches and holes and stuff. So what you would be able to do in the future is dig holes, and you can fill it with water, so you can have like pools and ponds. So if you like, let's say, build a pool, you would be able to, have like a swimming animation, and people could just swim and hang out. And what you could potentially do is offer skins. So let's say, Akia here, you would be able to buy like a swimsuit skin. So each of these characters would have like a summer themed skin that you could wear to these different social events that you could host on your planet. So you would be able to swim, and then potentially in the future we could also make them into ponds where you can go fishing. So you would be able to join people's planets, and you could swim around. You can fish, be able to play hide and seek and tag. You'd have all these different social mini games, and it would improve, player to player interaction. So even if you're, you don't want to get involved with the battling aspects of the game, so you don't want to do PvE or PvP or anything, you just hang out on your planet and you just customize different things on your planet.
Oh, I'd be really interested in fishing.
Yeah. So the idea with fishing is you would have like this randomized counter. So obviously, like if you were to catch fish, you don't have like an inventory, and even if you had an inventory where you can catch fish, there would be nothing to do with it. So the idea with this is you would like have an animation where you cast a line, and then you would reel it in, and you would have like this. It's like a dice roll, and you could earn anywhere between, let's say, like a minimum of like 5 acquium and a maximum of 50. So every time you cast a reel and then you reel it in, you get a random amount between the two. And what you could do is have like time limits. So you have to catch the most amount of acquium in like 5 minutes. So you can even have fishing contests, and this would be entirely dependent on RNG. So you wouldn't be required like, oh, I've played this game for 1,000 hours. I'm a pro at this game. Somebody who's played the game for 5 minutes can still beat you at RNG through these fishing events. So you could have, different rewards for fishing contests and stuff, which would be mostly RNG based. And what you could potentially do in the future to make it have a little bit more skill is maybe you can implement a fishing feature that's kind of similar to how it works in, let's say, a game like Stardew Valley, where it would have sort of like a vertical kind of scroll bar. And as you cast the reel in, you have like a bobber that goes up and down. And then there's a space in which the bobber has to stay in order to catch the fish. So when the bobber goes out, like there's a time limit on the side that starts to count down. So you have to keep the bobber in the center, and the thing moves up and down. So you have to constantly, scroll up and down and keep the mouse where it's centered where it needs to be in order to catch the fish. So you can enter like I can even probably jump in the game right now and show you. Since we
that
didn't.
Sounds fun though.
Yeah, since we didn't do the thing I wanted to show with the guild emblem, I can show this real quick. Because this will take like 2 seconds. I'll show you the fishing mechanic, and this it would be very easy to implement in a game like World. I could just let it boot up.
Yeah, I think people like that. I play. There's quite a few games I play just to fish in them, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I used to be a big RuneScape fan, and I can't tell you how many hours I spent fishing in that game. All right. I'm sorry if the audio levels are a little too loud for you guys. So I'll go ahead and show you guys the fishing mechanic. I'm like super rich in this game too. So how do I get the options? Option. We turn down. There we go. So it's not too loud. So I'm gonna go fishing. Let me grab my horse. I don't know. Have you ever played this game before?
I've not.
You're not?
I'm not a fan of the graphics, to be honest.
Yeah, that's something a lot of people say, but it grows on you. So this fishing pond, you really can't catch anything. It's just all garbage. So I'll go down here. So I'll show you the fishing mechanic once I can get right here. So do I have a fishing rod? Yes, I do. So you cast a reel. We'll wait until we catch a fish, and I'll show you how it works. So, like, you have this bobber here, and you have to keep the fish centered on it. Oop. And then you catch the fish, just like that. So I'll show it once again, and this time I'll intentionally mess up. Go ahead, come on. So, like, let's say I go up here. So now it's not centered. As you can see, it's starting to scroll down like that, and I just failed. So you can easily implement a feature like this for Unnyworld. Where you have a casting animation, you wait a few seconds, maybe a few bubbles come up, and then like that, and then, well, I messed up that time. I waited too long. So a few bubbles would come up, and then you would start this fishing minigame like this. So again, I'm intentionally failing to show you how the bar scrolls down on the side like that. So I think that's good enough for this. Yeah, let me just click off. So yeah, so that's how that would work. So you would have these different fishing mini games. So you could it could be like RNG just in the beginning, just so like the mechanic is there, and then you can add different levels of depth to it later on to increase it, so that there's at least a little bit of skill involved. And that way, like I said, even if you're not interested in the actual fighting aspects of the game, there'll be social aspects. You could just go out and hang out on other people's planets for a while. So that's one of the ideas I had. What else did I want to talk about? So yeah, so from the community hub, you would be able to view other people's planets or other submissions. You would be able to take screenshots. So let's say you wanted to do something where you invite a bunch of people on your planet, and you have like 10 people on your planet, and then you have everybody do like a dancing animation, and then you take a screenshot of that. So that would go under like a social category. And then what you can do potentially in the future is have, when you go into free roam, maybe you would have more options on the side here for different animations. So like when you join in the game, you know how you have like different emojis that you can select? You would have actual animation. So maybe you could have one like wave, maybe you can have one like high five, and it requires like another person to be in the vicinity. And then they'll get like a prompt, and it says like, would you like to high five this person? You can hit yes. So then you do a high five animation. There could be like hug, there could be all these different things. So you would have like all these different animations that you can do. And then I'm sure people can figure out ways of making, pretty funny situations and scenarios using these different animations. So maybe they want to take pictures of that and they can upload it to the social hub. So that would be another category. So, oops. Let me get out of this. So yeah, so there would be all these different categories, and from the user, the community hub interface, we'd actually be able to select a different user and join their planet, and that person doesn't even have to be online, because there wouldn't be. Well, there's another thing you can do. You can have like different options for your planet, like set to private. So if you don't want people to join your planet when you're offline, you can set your planet to private, and then when you're online, you would get like requests. Like this player wants to check out your planet, and then you can hit yes or no. If you hit yes, they would spawn on your planet. Or you can set it to public, where you can allow anybody to join your planet at any given time. So you could be offline, and a person could just see your planet in the community hub. They can select it and hit visit, and they would be able to run around on your planet. So again, I don't know how soon we can implement these type of features, because this would be a huge update. So it would take a lot of work. But also in this selection, like I said, because you would have these different categories. So one of them would be the community hub. We'll go back to pictures. Another one of them would be like a bulletin board. So this can give you like the latest news. So I made this like, I think about a month ago. So these patch notes here are obviously like obsolete. This is version 1.10. I think we're on version 1.14 now. So this is like 4 weeks old. But you have like a bulletin board. Maybe you would have like a message like, we're planning on announcing a tournament either at the end of this month or early next month. We want to do an end of the year tournament. So maybe you would have something in the bulletin board. They'll say like, signups for this tournament will begin between this date and this date. View this forum post for more information and place your application here. So that would be the purpose of the bulletin board. News would be used for patch notes, and then you would have different categories. Go back in here. So for like bug report submissions and stuff like that, and you would have one for like player feedback. So if we go back to the picture here, so I have like for fan art and player submissions, go to this forum link, and this is all text, but I want these to be hyperlinked. So when you click on them in the game, you can actually go right to the forum. So for feedback and suggestions. But the other thing I want to be able to do is have polls. So just like in this layout, you would have like one over here for polls. So you would click on that, and it'll like, how many hours a day on average do you play? And there would be like, 1 to 2, maybe 3 to 4, stuff like that. And then every time you take a poll, you can earn a certain amount of gems. And you would be able to take like one poll a day. So maybe you would earn like 50 gems for each poll, and you could take one poll a day. And then there would be like another poll of like, what kind of features would you want to see expanded on in the future? So it could be like PvE, PvP, more social elements to the game, stuff like that. So there would be all these different polls, and that will help us, the developers, know what direction we want to go in the future for developments. So what things we want to prioritize, and we want to reward the players for giving us the feedback. So you would actually be able to earn gems every time you take a poll. So there would be an incentive. Another
That would
thing.
be nice. I'll take some gems to fill out a pool.
So the other thing is we're constantly being asked about promo codes and stuff. So we generally try to use things like social media, like Twitter, which is your wheelhouse, to advertise promo codes and stuff. But what we could potentially do in the future is also under polls, you can have like promo code. So this promo code is active between this date and this date. That way, players don't even have to ask us. They could go right to polls, since they could be taking polls daily anyway to earn gems. You'll have like promo code underneath it, and then they'll have a certain amount of time in which they can redeem that promo code for additional gems. So these are all ways of incentivizing players to give us increased feedback. So again, we know what direction we want to go in with the game. So let's see what else we have. It's really a shame that I couldn't get that thing to work. I'll have to wait until the next podcast for that. But I think once players get a chance to see it, they'll be really excited about the different customization you'll be able to do with guilds. But yeah, so video and photo uploads, I already talked about that with the community hub. So when you go to profile, you see how you have like this little pencil and like line underneath it. So that indicates that you can edit stuff. So here it's like selecting your badge. So you would have that under the profile info. So we'll go back to here. So this icon right here, indicating that you can edit, would also be here in the corner, allowing you to edit your player info, and maybe right here in the corner of your profile image, allowing you to upgrade or change your profile, your avatar image. And then when you go to guilds, you would also have one maybe in this corner here, which will allow you to actually edit your guild emblem. So this is something that you can edit from time to time as well. So you can update it. And maybe what you could do is have different features that you can unlock. So as you increase your guild level, maybe you can unlock new emblems or maybe new design patterns. So maybe you could have more intricate patterns like a checkered pattern in the future, or maybe a different type of swirl. So these might be different patterns that you can unlock by upgrading your guild, so increasing your level. Or some of them could be tied to premium purchases. So you might have to spend like 500 gems to unlock certain. So that's another thing you could potentially do with the guild emblem customization. But again, we'll go over that more in depth when I can actually get that game, go through the tutorial and show everybody exactly how that would work. So what else do we have? So the boss update. So this is made kind of deliberately misleading. So it's BOSS boss. So people are like, oh, so boss battles. We are going to have boss battles eventually in the future, but this is going to be something else. So let me go ahead and minimize this too. I'm going to move it over to the side like that. So what I want to do is kind of renovate this entire interface for badges. So right now you only have, I think, 10 custom colors. 1, 7, 8. So you only have 10, and they're not particularly appealing to me. So like you have this weird aqua, beige, green. This is kind of like a dark, ugly orange. These colors are not particularly appealing. So the way this would work is you would have actually 10 different color options, and as you can see here, there's a much greater variety now. And some of these colors like black, I'm sure is going to be very popular. And what you would be able to do is have different layers. So it would be like two-tone. So one would be for, oops. As you can see here, you have like the image, then you have the circle, and then you have like a border around the circle. So you would be able to do the background, and then you could do the image, and then the border is all like 3 different colors. So let's say we go with the skull here. We can make the skull white, we can make the background black, and then we can make the border red. So it would be much more customization options for your actual badges. So that was one thing. We go back here, and I want to completely redo the kind of the UI for the actual badges themselves. Instead of this like horizontal pattern right now, we have like this kind of display, and then this one here, and then store is off to the side. It would be kind of like a drop down thing like this. It would go vertical rather than horizontal. So the way this would work is all the badges would, just like this, all the badges are on screen, but there is no indication of which ones you actually own and which ones you don't own. So like a new player will see, okay, achievements. They'll click on this one, and then they're like, oh, okay, so I have this selected, and then they'll exit, and then they'll go back to their profile. You're like, oh, wait a minute, why didn't it save? It's because you don't actually have this one unlocked yet. When you unlock the achievement badges, then it'll appear under here, under yours. So these are the ones you actually own. So it's a little confusing. So right now you might see these and you think you actually own these. You might see this under achievements. You're like, oh, so I've already unlocked this one. But no. So you have a question mark here. This will tell you the progress you've made on it. So to make this a little bit more intuitive, what I would do is all of the badges would appear, and the ones you have unlocked would be whited like this, and the ones you don't have unlocked would be like grayed out. So you haven't actually unlocked those. And then you would have the store ones here. So these are ones like these you click on, and you know you haven't unlocked these because you'll have this option underneath here that says unlock. So you know you have to spend gems for this. But again, these are all whited. There's no indication of which ones you have and which ones you don't have. But with this, they would all appear in these different rows, and the ones you own would be white in color, and the ones you don't own, this white part would be replaced with like dark gray, and like the dark gray would be like black. So these would all be darkened. So all you have to do is take the hue and like turn it down. So let's go back here. So as you can see from my table, your default badges, these are the ones you have already when you start the game. So I think the original amount you start with is 8. So I would expand that to 10. So you would have a few additional badges that you can choose right from the beginning of the game. These here in blue are store-bought. Right now there are 9 here, but I already bought one. I bought this one. So there's actually 10. So I would increase that to 20. So each one of these rows is 10. So there would actually be 20 that you can buy from the store. These right here are red. These are achievement. Right now, oops. Let's see. Go back to here. We have 4 in achievements, but I already unlocked a few. This one you get from buying the Founders Pack. This one's actually an achievement. And I think that's it. Or was there... Maybe one of these other ones was an achievement as well. But I think right now there's only 6 or 7 achievement badges. I would increase that to about 20. And then down here is purple. These are event badges. So these are badges that you would get through different events. So the idea initially for like Halloween was that you were going to be able to play arenas, and you would have this different event currency. So for instance, let's actually jump in game. And we go to custom map. So let's say we go to like random arena. As you can see here, when you win a random arena, you can win unicoins, and you can also win shovels that allow you to increase the amount of edits you can make on your planet. During events, you would have a 4th option, and it would be whatever the event currency is for that event. So for Halloween, let's say it's candy. So you would be able to hit random arena, and as you win, you can earn this event currency called candy. And you would be able to redeem this event currency for different event rewards. So some of these event rewards, so again, Halloween just passed, so we'll use Halloween for an example. You would be able to use them to buy the Halloween skins. So for IKEA, it would be like this nurse's outfit. For Morth, it would be this pirate outfit. So you would be able to buy Halloween costumes. You would be able to buy the Halloween planet skin. So we go here and building, no, skins. So you'd be able to buy the Halloween skin. So this would normally be 2,000 gems. So maybe you would make it something like 5,000 candy. So you would have to really grind a lot, but it's something you could potentially earn for free if you just invest a lot of time. So you wouldn't even have to spend the gems. And the fourth thing you would be able to do is buy event badges. So there would be all kinds of Halloween badges that you would be able to unlock. And then once you unlock, you'll be able to use them as your avatar. So let's go back to, well, for your badge anyway. So those would all be under event badges. So what I try to do is have a Halloween event, a Christmas event, and a Valentine's Day event. So each of those events would have 5 badges each. So those would all be under event badges. So there's 3 events, 5 badges each, that's 15. On top of that, I don't want every badge to be something that you have to earn by buying with this event currency. I also just want to have like badges just for like logging in during like the holiday weekend. So let's say you, because Halloween's on October 31st. So let's say you log in anywhere between October 21st and October 31st. You would just get an automatic Halloween badge just for logging in between those 2 dates. And then likewise, same thing with Christmas, which is on the 25th. Maybe you, if you log in anywhere between the 21st and the 31st of December, you can get like a Christmas badge for free. So you don't even have to work for these. All you have to do is literally log in. So those are 3 additional badges. So that would bring it up to 18. And then I have like 2 extra. So those can be anything that we can introduce in the future. Maybe we can do like a Unnyworld anniversary event. And one of the badges that you can go for under event badges would be like a Unnyworld anniversary. So this is how the layout would be. So again, all default badges would be in the first row, then the second and third row would be store-bought. Fourth and fifth achievements, and fifth and sixth, or no, sixth and seventh would be event badges. So this would increase the total amount of badges. Right now, I think it's somewhere around 20 or 25. This update would bring it all the way up to 70. So it would literally triple the amount of badges in the game. It also gives you additional customization options, so you have far more colors to choose from, and you would also be able to choose the different colors for the different layers. So the top layer, which would be like the center image, could be one color, then the background, which would be the second layer, and then the third layer, which is that rim that goes around the perimeter. So these can all be 3 different colors. So again, it's just another level of customization for the players. And then how the actual achievement badges would work. So I got here, I compiled a list of all the different achievements that you would be able to earn badges from. So how it currently works is we'll actually click on a few of these. So this is the grade 10. So you have to complete this achievement to unlock this badge, the grade 10. This one you have to complete Fire Runner. This one you have to complete Countless Victories. This one you have to complete Aim to Win. What I want to do is make it so that basically every achievement unlocks a badge at some point. So we'll take this King Solomon's Mines here, this very top one. As you can see that there's different stages for this achievement. So when you complete the first stage, you'll get the first gold star. Then when you complete the second stage, it'll update. So it's kind of like moving the goalpost. Once you complete the first stage of the achievement, then it'll increase. It'll reveal the second stage. And then once you complete that, you get the second star, then the third star, fourth star, fifth star. So the idea here is once you've completed all 5 stars for that achievement, that's when you unlock the badge for that achievement. So that's when you've mastered that particular achievement. So at that point, you get the badge. Now, for some of these down here, like Fire Runner, you actually currently get the badge at star 3. So I would actually move that to star 5. So you would be required to completely finish that entire achievement to actually unlock the badge. But there would be a badge for every single achievement. So this is another collector's item, like I was talking about before with unlocking all the different character portraits. Now you would be able to collect all these unique badges that you can earn through achievements. So this incentivizes players to stay with the game a lot longer because they have to get 5 stars in all the achievements in order to collect the badge for that achievement. So if you want to unlock all badges, you're going to have to unlock or complete all of these achievements. So again, that's another thing to incentivize players to continue playing and invest more time in the game. But I also want to have some kind of reward for star 3. So for some of these achievements, you get the badge at star 3. I want to move that to 5, and instead at star 3, you would get some kind of different reward. But this goes back to the idea that I talked about in my last podcast, where you could potentially in the future be able to actually enter your town hall, and you would have like a doorway in the front, and there would be like a yellow arrow indicator. So let me actually go into free roam. So what would happen is in the front of your town hall, there would be kind of like a yellow arrow pointing down, like an indicator, and it would kind of like blink, or maybe it would just go up and down, so it would bob like this. So it would say that when you click on the front door here, you'd actually enter your town hall and you would enter a new cell. So it would just be like an indoor cell. So it'd be like shaped as like a regular hexagon, like most of the rest of these cells, but there would be like walls, and you would be able to actually customize the inside of your town hall. So you'd be able to buy furniture and place it down. And so you could buy things like tables and chairs, like a fireplace, like a bookcase, chandelier, all kinds of things you'd be able to customize the inside of your town hall. So it's like your own personal space. And one of the things in your town hall would be like a display case. And in this display case would be trophies that you can unlock by completing achievements. So let me get out of this. So what would happen is, as you're completing the achievements and advancing these different stages, you're going from star 1, 2, 3, etc. Once you get to star 3, you unlock the bronze trophy for that achievement. So right now I'm on stage 4 of King Solomon Mines. At star 3, you get the bronze trophy for this. At star 4, which is where I'm currently at, that bronze trophy becomes retextured into a silver trophy. And then at star 5, that silver trophy gets retextured into a gold trophy. So all these things update in real time as you're progressing through these different achievement ranks. And these things will have like a visual representation in the game itself via your town hall. So you can go inside your town hall, you can see this display case, and you can see these different trophies that you've earned from completing achievements. And as you advance ranks, these trophies will actually update and become like bigger and have like a different texture to them. They'll be bronze, silver, and then gold. So that's another thing that you would be able to obtain through completing different achievements. So how do you like that?
That would be really nice to decorate in the town hall, but I'm most interested when you mentioned that event currency.
Yeah, so we were talking about this back in early October. The initial plan was we wanted to release boss mode by the end of October, and we wanted to have an event currency for Halloween. It would have been candy. So you'd be able to do random arenas and you can get this event currency, or you could team up with players and do this boss arena, and you can earn a lot of candy by defeating the boss. Now, the boss was no pushover. It was really, really difficult. In fact, we actually have some beta footage of the boss. You can ask Pavel for it later. And so he was trying to solo the boss, and he gets absolutely wrecked. It has like this uber special attack where it'll like glow red and then charge at like the team or whatever. And if you're caught in that attack, like it's like an instant kill move. So it requires a lot of strategy and a lot of like patience. And it's not just like standing one place and using your auto attack to slowly, knock down the enemy's hit point. You actually have to move and dodge. And some of the things that I was trying to implement was have telegraphed attacks. So before the boss is about to use like a very powerful, it's kind of like Dark Souls in this way. Before the boss is about to use a very powerful attack, so maybe like an AoE ability, it would turn a different color or perform a certain animation, letting you know it's about to do something big. And then there would be like a glyph on the ground, like a red circle indicator, like this is where it's about to attack. And you would have like 1 or 2 seconds to get out of the way or be caught in an attack, and the attack would do massive damage. So we had all these plans for this boss mode, and again, like it would be no pushover. It would be very, very difficult to defeat this boss. But if you defeat this boss, let's say through like the regular arena, for every match you win 5 candy, just to make something up. If you defeat the boss, maybe you would win something like 500 candy. But the boss would be really super hard to beat. So it would, and the other thing is we also were wondering about doing like a daily limit. So you can't just grind the boss over and over and over. So you might be only able to defeat the boss like once a day or maybe 3 times a day or something like that. So that was the whole idea for Halloween. The problem is with Planet Edit and what else were we working on at the time? Planet Edit and something else. Oh, we were also working on Lamia, but we had all these other things going on, and we just couldn't get it done in the timetable that we originally had planned. So the idea is now to hopefully have that done by Christmas. So for Christmas, hopefully we'll have like an event currency, and maybe it'll be like gifts or like candy canes or something like that. And as you complete arenas and defeat the boss, you'll be able to earn this event currency that you can redeem for all these different prizes. So hopefully, we could get some of these updates done by the end of the year. But as you know, we're currently working on Battle Royale. So that's the big push right now. We kind of want to have that done by either the end of this month or early next month. And then we want to start announcing for the tournament. So we want to do that pretty soon as well. So that will probably be at the end of this month as well. So there's going to be a lot of preparation and organization around that. But yeah, so I know that you said you like the idea. This is something that we've been talking about for at least a month, maybe a little bit longer now. And hopefully we can get some of these things implemented by the time for Christmas. But if not, the next holiday would be Valentine's Day, which is in February. So if not by Christmas, I don't want to like 100% make like a guaranteed promise here, but I would really strongly hope that we would have it done by Valentine's Day. So that's something to look forward to. So
That
yeah,
sounds really nice, especially if the boss is going to be challenging.
yeah.
Sounds like a
So
lot of fun.
yeah, I'll show you the some of the beta footage we took of that later on. The only thing is, it's again, well, beta is actually kind of giving it more credit than what it's worth. It's more like an alpha, so it lacks certain basic movement animations. So it kind of like I don't know how familiar you are with animation, but before you actually like animate a model, it's generally held in a T pose. So this thing, actually, I'll show you because the in-game model exists in the game right now. When you go into either house or ship, oops, that's not it. Oh, can you no longer do it? Oh, okay, here we go, house. Oh no, they took it out. Okay, so the third option here was like this pumpkin-looking creature. This is what we're going to use for the Halloween boss. And then over here was like a tree creature, which is what we're probably going to retexture into the Christmas. So again, I'll have to show you some of the alpha footage for that. But like I said, it lacked basic animations, so
Right.
it has like tentacles and stuff, but the tentacles don't move. So it basically just kind of like glides across the arena. It's like stiff. It's like a block. It just kind of glides. So it
That
doesn't
sounds
have
amazing.
yeah, it doesn't have like tentacles that like move. So it has like no level of propulsion. Like it's not like pulling against the
Right.
ground or anything. It's not like legs that are animated moving. It just kind of glides. Pretty funny, but yeah, but it already has like an attack pattern. It has different move sets. So, for instance, it can like twist around and do this AOE attack where it fires fireballs in like all different directions. It has all these unique abilities. But like I said, we just couldn't get it done in time for the Halloween uh, holiday, unfortunately, because we were working on other things. And at this point, I'm not even sure we're going to be able to have it done by Christmas either because of Battle Royale and stuff. I really hope that we do, but it might have to be pushed off until Valentine's Day. But yeah, so that was going to be its own arena too. So that was going to be a soft launch for this idea we have for a boss arena because we're eventually going to be launching a dungeon mode. So eventually, well, the original idea was we're going to have this Halloween boss, and based on like the mechanics of that, if players enjoyed it, if it wasn't too unbalanced, and like if it were too difficult or too easy, we would have to first balance the boss first to make sure that it's actually defeatable. And then the idea was to eventually not just have bosses unique to certain holiday events, but to have an actual boss arena all year round. So the boss that we were using, I'll actually show you some of the pictures. Uh, but the boss that we were going to use for Halloween Eventually, it was going to be repurposed for like the regular boss, and then we were going to retexture that regular boss back into a Halloween. I know this sounds pretty confusing, but we were going to take what was going to be the Halloween boss because that was going to be like the test boss. That was going to eventually become like the normal boss that you would fight in the regular dungeon arena. And then we were going to retexture it back into a Halloween boss to make it more Halloween themed. So its initial appearance, it's like a flower. It's kind of like pumpkin shaped, but it's like a large flower with tentacles and stuff. So my idea was the flower was going to be like stage one of the boss, and once you defeat that, the flower would open, and then it would reveal either like a flower plant would come out of it, so it would be like stage two, so like a piranha plant, or it would reveal like a dryad or something, like a female uh, flower woman warrior would be like inside the flower. So stage one would be the flower, and then it would sprout, and then there would be a stage two to the battle, which would be more difficult than stage one. So we were going to take that was going to be like the regular boss, and then retexture it back into the Halloween boss. So where that flower used to be would be retextured into a pumpkin, and then once you defeat that, the pumpkin will open, and then a scarecrow would come. That would be stage two. So that was going to be Halloween and normal boss mode. For Christmas, I think the idea is to take what used to be. It used to be here. When you go into house or ship, you were able to hit A for assign. This would allow you to assign to different minions for invasions. There was a tree monster right here, and the idea was to repurpose that into like a Christmas tree monster. So he was going to have like ornaments and kind of like a bandolier. So like the thing people use for like holstering ammunition and stuff. But it was going to be like ornaments and like Christmas tree lights. And it was going to have different things like it could throw at you. So it was going to be like this Christmas tree boss. But again, I don't know if we can have that done by Christmas. So we might have to push back this whole idea for the dungeon mode until maybe February for Valentine's. And I have no idea what the Valentine's Day boss is going to be yet. I only know Halloween, Christmas, and the regular boss. So maybe you can help us out with that, actually. If you have
Hmm.
some unique ideas for Valentine's Day boss.
I'm not sure, but it's a great idea and definitely worth waiting for.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want you guys to look forward to that. Again, I can't make any definitive promises right now because we're working on all these other things behind the scenes. But hopefully, no later than Valentine. I certainly want to get this done, in the relatively near future. So in the next few months or so. Um, so yeah, so that would be dungeon mode. Along with dungeon mode, we were going to have this ability where you can actually obtain chests, and there would be randomized loot, and you would have this new interface when you go to player select. So like before you go into dungeon or arenas, so you have like spells, so you can customize the spells that you want to use, skins, and then arena. Before arena, so there would be like another option here. There would be one for equipment. Let me actually get it. So how this would work is you would be able to give your characters different equipment that you obtain through these dungeon modes, and it would have different status effects. So maybe for Morth, you might have like Champion's Belt, and it gives you like +5 DPS. There might be another one like Shadow Earring or Shadow Ring, and it might increase the ability of some of his shadow techniques that makes him invisible to the player. It might extend the duration by another second or two. So you would have all these unique things that you could equip to your character that would give them either buffs to their physical stats, so like make them faster, stronger, or they can be modifiers to their already existing spells, so it can increase the duration or effect. So, for instance, maybe you play someone like Yoji. He might have an ability where it puts a burn effect on your character and does like 15 points of damage over a period of 5 seconds. So maybe you can equip something that instead of doing 15 points of fire damage over 5 seconds, it does 20 points of damage over 5 seconds. Or you can increase the duration so it's 15 points over 7 seconds now, or 10 seconds. So these would be different equipment options. So it allow you to further customize your character to have more unique gameplay. So let's say I play Akia, who is sort of like a healer hybrid. So maybe I want to play more defensively. So I want to give her equipment that bolsters her healing abilities. I would have the option to do that. Or if I want to make her more DPS centered, I could equip equipment that would increase her damage out. So you would have all of these more unique play styles because it allows you to further customize her character. That was another thing we were going to work on. Hopefully that, because that's another big one, that might have to wait until summer. So that's one that's kind of more further out. I don't know how soon we can get that one.
I'll be interested in that. I only play Yoji, so if there's customization there, that's great.
Absolutely. But the thing is right now we're not entirely sure whether or not these items that you would get from dungeons would have like a physical presence in the game. So let's say we'll go back with Morth and say like Champion's Belt and it increases strength. If you equip Champion's Belt, I don't know that it'll have like a physical model, like you physically see it equipped to his character. I don't know if we can go that far. Maybe in the future, but in its original inception of this concept, you would just be able to equip these things similar to like how you choose your spell. So if I currently have sudden attack. If I choose Shuriken, it's not like there's anything in his arsenal. Like he doesn't have like a pouch of Shurikens now because I changed his ability. Like there's no physical representation of these changes. So initially, it's probably just going to be something like spells where you change the equipment, but it doesn't reflect any visible changes. But perhaps in the future, maybe you could. So like right now, you can see he has like these big bulky pauldrons. So maybe he can get more sleek pauldrons to enhance his stealth abilities, and maybe bulkier pauldrons can increase his damage or defense or something. So these are things we can do in the future. Another one, like he has this headband. So I don't know if you ever watched the show Naruto, those headbands that they wear with that like the middle plate. So maybe you can have like a customizable headband. So maybe you want something that's more stealthy, so you get like this different kind of headband on the top. So these are just some of the ideas that we have. We could potentially implement in the future. Another one is Shredder from the Ninja Turtles. He has like this metal claw that he wears. So maybe what we could do with Morph is in his offhand on here. Maybe something that can improve damage is like on this offhand. Let me try to turn him. Is have like an equipable metal claw. So on one hand, he's got like a sword. On the other hand, he's got like a metal claw. That's something we could do. But like I said, these are ideas that are probably several months in advance. We wouldn't be able to do anything like that based on the timetable we currently have, probably until the summer. So this is in the distant future. So, was there anything else kind of related to the topics that we discussed today that you want to talk about?
Uh, well, I wanted to make sure to mention that everybody should follow on Twitter. It's Unihog.
Yes, everybody.
Also, we have a Facebook page too. Just search Unnyworld.
Yeah, so we want players to kind of give us more feedback. We're trying to expand into different social media platforms, so Twitter, Facebook, all the rest of it. I think Lucas is in charge of the Facebook, right?
Yes.
Do you help out with that, or is it just exclusively Lucas?
It's pretty much him. I'm more Twitter, but also, yeah, there's the forum, which is pretty active.
Right, right. So I pretty much am in charge of the forum. So hopefully, I mean, maybe I know Lucas doesn't speak much English, but maybe he could get on and just mute his mic or something. So you guys can meet like the whole team. So maybe that should be a goal of ours to slowly kind of get like everybody on. I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, so I want you again. I want you guys to, if you want to actually appear on the podcast, go ahead and check out the forum under discussions and kind of like leave your application. What my plan is for the future is, like I said, try to have like a roundtable type discussion where like instead of like listening to me ramble on and rant like for an hour straight about a topic. I know you didn't actually get much room to speak this time around because there was just a lot of content to cover. But I kind of like reduced amount of topics. That way we can focus on one topic and just spend more time on that particular topic. And then when we can get players on, or maybe some of the other staff, we can have like everybody has their chance to speak before we move on to the next topic. So, I'm always trying to make changes in the format. I want to get more players involved and participating. Um, so yeah, so that's something to look forward to in the future. Um, what else? So when this video gets published, it's going to go on YouTube. So I want everybody to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Check out the other videos on this channel and make sure to do the same. If you want to financially support the game, make sure to check out our Steam store where we're selling the Founders Pack. And you can unlock characters like Forga and the most recently released Lamia as well. No, actually, Lamia is not in the Founders Pack. So the idea with that actually is we're going to be releasing Maya hopefully either at the end of this month or maybe early next month. And then after that will either be Cassis or Graeme. So once we have 4 new characters, we're hoping to start a new pack. So right now we have the Founders Pack. The next one is either going to be the Heroes Pack or the Champions Pack. We're going to have another additional 4 heroes for that one. So for Founders Pack, we have Neri, Isna, Forga, and Lane. So this one will be Lamia, Dwar, and Maya, and then either Cassis or Graeme, depending on who we release first. So that's something I want to have done by Christmas, but we also will be releasing for Christmas a different pack, which is going to be a collection of all the different holiday skins. So for instance, the Christmas skin for Yoji is kind of this cute one with this little reindeer hat. And then we'll go with, does Neri have one yet? No, he doesn't. Now this looks more like Valentine's. Or maybe this is supposed to be Halloween. Not sure. But for all the different Christmas themed skins, we're going to actually release a pack for that in time for Christmas. And like I said, maybe in the future, we're going to have the next Heroes pack release. So I don't know if we'll have both of those things done by Christmas. I hope so. But look forward to that. And if you guys are feeling extra generous, go ahead and make sure to check out the Patreon.
I was just going to mention that.
Yeah, so we actually got our first patron a couple of weeks ago. It was Glare. Oh, if only I actually am experiencing a glitch right now with my friends list. Otherwise, I could read off the name. So when I go to my friends list, right now I have 2 characters. But I used to have like 30 names on my friends list, but it's Glare, I think 163. So Glare was our very first patron, became our patron last month actually. And every dollar goes a very long way. It goes back to reinvesting into original content and allows us to produce features much faster. So if you guys want to be able to unlock all the features that we were talking about before, like boss mode and dungeon mode and stuff like that, donating to the Patreon will certainly help us out in that regard. And I think that will do it for today's podcast. Again, make sure to follow Twitter, where you can interact with this Bear Grylls Grizzly handsome man, Hugh Hackman Wolverine replacement.
All the important announcements are going to be on there as well.
Right. So if you guys want to get the announcements before anybody else, make sure to check out the Twitter. But I think what we should do is maybe have like exclusive things on the Twitter where, let's say we release patch notes a week earlier on the Twitter so people know what's coming up before anybody else. So if you guys want to know what's going to happen before all your friends do, check out the Twitter. You can interact with William here. And I think this will do it for today's podcast. And I'll see you all guys next time. And I want to wish everybody to have a very beautiful day.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, everybody.